संघर्ष है वो जारी रखें। तो इसलिए जितने भी कदम हम उठा रहे हैं, लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा टैक्स कंप्लायंट बनाने की दृष्टि से, वो हम लोगों ने अपनाए हैं। इसमें कृषि के अतिरिक्त एक सेक्टर जो रोजगार के बड़े अवसर देता है वो है एमएसएमई। और एमएसएमई सेक्टर को इनकरेज किया जाए, और एमएसएमई में मैं एक एक्सपैंडेड एमएसएमई भी देख रहा हूं। तो इसलिए 50 करोड़ तक टर्नओवर वाली कंपनियां, उनको टैक्स एडवांटेज दिया जाए ताकि वो कंपेटिटिव हो पाए, प्रतिस्पर्धा अच्छी कर पाए। उस दृष्टि से एमएसएमई सेक्टर को हम लोगों ने इनकरेज किया है। बजट में एक वाक्य मैंने प्रयोग किया कि जो लोग टैक्स की चोरी करते हैं उनके हिस्से का टैक्स ईमानदार टैक्स पेयर को देना पड़ता है। तो अब हम क्योंकि उस वर्ग पे दबाव डाल रहे हैं और सरकार के कई कदमों से वो पैसा टैक्स नेट में आता है और वो लोग टैक्स नेट में आते हैं, तो ऑनेस्ट टैक्स पेयर जो रिटर्न भरते हैं उनको एक लाभ मिले, ये हमने प्रयास किया है। और इसलिए दूसरा उद्देश्य ये भी था कि इन्फ्लेशन का भी असर पड़ता है, इसलिए छोटे टैक्स पेयर को एडवांटेज दिया जाए, उसका परचेजिंग पावर बढ़ाया जाए। और जो लोग टैक्स नेट के बाहर हैं लेकिन जिनको अंदर होना चाहिए था, उनके लिए आकर्षण दिया जाए कि वो टैक्स नेट में आए। तो इसलिए एक सामान्य 5% टैक्स देकर एक 5 लाख तक का आप इनकम डिस्क्लोज कर सकते हो, आधे पेज की रिटर्न होगी, स्क्रूटनी भी लगभग नहीं होगी। इस वर्ग को हम लोगों ने इंसेंटिवाइज किया है। हाउसिंग के प्रति जो हमारा एक पिछले साल के बजट में कुछ हमने टैक्सेशन पॉलिसी उस दृष्टि से बनाई थी, उसको बरकरार रखा है। अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग को इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्टेटस देना, हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स को भी जो टैक्स कंसेशंस हम लोगों ने दिए हैं वो देना। ब्लैक मनी के खिलाफ इसमें 2 और कदम है कि जो लोग भारतीय व्यवस्था का दुरुपयोग करते हैं और फिर भाग जाते हैं, तो एक कड़क व्यवस्था बननी चाहिए उन लोगों के खिलाफ। इसका जो अंतिम स्वरूप बनेगा इस कदम का, वो आपके समक्ष रख दिया जाएगा। 3 लाख से अधिक कोई भी खर्चा किसी भी बिना किसी अपवाद के कैश में नहीं हो सकता। ये एसआईटी की रिकमेंडेशन थी जिसे हमने स्वीकार किया। एफआईपीबी अबॉलिश करना, क्योंकि लगभग 90% एफडीआई इस देश में ऑटोमेटिक रूप से आती है और एफआईपीबी ने एक अच्छा अपना पर्पस सर्व कर लिया है। उसका रोडमैप हम लोग तय कर देंगे इस साल में। पब्लिक सेक्टर कंपनी प्रतिस्पर्धा में सामने आए, स्पष्ट हो कि बाजार में उनकी ताकत कितनी है। कई कंपनियां इस साल लिस्ट हो जाएंगी। और पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग को लेकर एक बहुत बड़ा विवाद इस देश में रहा है और इसलिए पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग को लेकर व्यवस्था को क्लींस किया जाए, साफ सुथरा किया जाए, उसके लिए एक पूरी स्कीम इस बजट के अंदर हम लोगों ने अनाउंस की है। बजट के पीछे उद्देश्य ये है कि अर्थव्यवस्था और उसकी वृद्धि को तेजी से बनाए रखना, उसके साथ साथ राजनीति और अर्थव्यवस्था को क्लींस करना, साफ करना, और टैक्सेशन पॉलिसी के माध्यम से ईमानदार टैक्स पेयर को सुविधा देना, और जो टैक्स नहीं देता आमदनी के बाद भी उसको टैक्स नेट में लाने का एक प्रयास भी करना, और एक आवश्यकता पड़े तो उसके ऊपर सख्ती का प्रयोग भी करना। ये एक सोच इस बजट के पीछे थी। मुझे इतना ही कहना है, आगे जो आपके प्रश्न होंगे मैं उसको डिटेल में।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. Let's start with 299. Yes. Keep it near to your.
Timsi, this side from CNBC TV 18. So very clearly political funding is something which government is now intending to curb. How would you do the enforcement of such a big step that you've taken?
You see, the system involves the following steps. The donor and the donee will get a tax exemption. A donor will get a deduction. The donee, that's the political party, will get a tax exemption. Provided the returns are filed by the political party and donations of 4 kinds is being encouraged in that. You can donate by check, you can donate by the digital mode, and my personal suggestion would be that small donations by the digital mode, mass donations as take place in several other democracies is a more desirable method rather than single big donations. If you are taking money by cash, then we have accepted the Election Commission suggestion. The maximum you can get from a particular person is 2 lakh rupees. And lastly, in order, 2,000 rupees, I stand corrected. And lastly, this provision for electoral bonds that we have made. This requires a particular amendment to the RBI Act, which I have annexed along with the budget documents. A notified bank would be issuing bonds. Any donor can buy those bonds from the bank by check or digital payment. So it will only be white, clean money, tax-paid money on which bonds can be purchased. These bonds by the donor can be given to the political party. They'll be redeemable within a short period of time, which the scheme will mention. Time will be as short as is pragmatically possible. And they will be redeemable in the notified account of a political party. That means every political party recognized by the Election Commission will have to notify one account in advance to the Election Commission, and this can only be encashed and redeemed in that one account. Now this would involve the donor giving clean money because it will be check paid, and the donee, the party, receiving money in its bank account so that it's also clean money. These bonds will be bearer in character because if the names are disclosed and identities are revealed, then it's as good as issuing a check, which is the present status quo. And the present status quo hasn't worked. Because because of the present status quo, donors have preferred cash payment rather than disclosure of their identities. So the present status quo has failed. So you have to experiment a new system. So it's a new system by which we are allowing, the scheme allows 4 methods. Returns will have to be filed, and the method of enforcement is very simple. You don't comply with this regulation, you lose your exemption.
Yeah, please.
Sir, Arup with Business Standard. Congratulations on presenting what has been a very comprehensive budget. So just one small query. You said capital spending is 3.97 lakh crore. How much of that is from budgetary resources and how much of that is from extra budgetary resources? Because as far as your documents show, your capital spending for the coming year is projected as 3.09 lakh crore. So there is some difference, there's some gap there.
You see, the amounts which are from the budget are clearly mentioned in the budget. So the railways will have some extra budget spending, particularly I think in their Suraksha Kosh.
Railways is 131, including 55,000 crores from government. So therefore, 131 of railways has been taken into account to arrive at the total of 396.
Yeah. Yes, madam.
Sir, Anvesha from Kugensis, one question to you, and perhaps Shaktikanta sir can elaborate on the FIPB abolishment roadmap. What is the sort of timeline you're looking at, and what will be, if you could elaborate on the mechanism that will come in?
We'll do it in the course of this year. That's what the budget we have mentioned. I have mentioned in the speech. As it is, 90% of your clearances are on the automatic route, so there is no FIPB. FIPB comes into the picture only in those other 10% cases. Now, some alternative mechanism could be in place. In many cases, it could also be the parent ministry which deals with that particular investment. So, if there is a INB related or some other sector related, today you have to go through really two different ministries and both follow the same set of considerations. Now, therefore, the FIPB going out and the concerned ministry dealing with it is one possible mechanism which is possible. Mr. Das.
So I'll just supplement. Now the government has already made a beginning. If you recall, with regard to the NBFCs, earlier it was in the automatic route only if they brought the money through certain sectors. It was restricted to certain sectors. Then the amendment to the policy which was announced by the finance minister in last year's budget and which has been operationalized is that sectors which are regulated, in those sectors NBFCs can invest. So therefore a beginning has been made already to take away things from the FIPB's purview. So it's in the same direction as the finance minister has already stated. So therefore it could be the concerned ministry in some cases it could be alternative mechanism, but certainly not the kind of mechanism which, and the alternative mechanism will be far simpler.
सर मैं लक्ष्मण CNBC आवाज से 2 दिन पहले सरकार पर आरोप लगा था कि रोजगार पैदा करने में सरकार नाकाम रही है। ये बजट रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा करने में और रोजगार पैदा करने का जो लक्ष्य रखा गया सरकार की तरफ से उसे पूरा करने में कितनी कामयाब होगी, आप कितनी उम्मीद रखते हैं?
जितने कदम बजट में घोषणा की गई है उनमें से कितने ऐसे हैं जो रोजगार की दिशा में जाते हैं? अब आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का रोजगार के ऊपर प्रभाव पड़ता है कि नहीं पड़ता? जब आप MSME सेक्टर को इतना कंपेटिटिव बनाएंगे उसका असर पड़ता है कि नहीं पड़ता? जब आप मनरेगा के अंदर रिकॉर्ड एक्सपेंडिचर करेंगे तो इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में आपका रोजगार पे असर पड़ता है कि नहीं पड़ता? तो इसलिए रोजगार अलग चैप्टर नहीं है, बाकी आर्थिक निर्णयों में से और उन सेक्टर्स में से निकलने वाला एक परिणाम है।
Sir, if you can elaborate taking for reviving the private investment, domestic investment especially, and large scale investment in making India progress. What are the steps?
In
Reviving the domestic investment.
देखिए, as far as reviving private investment is concerned, every reform that we are making and every step we are taking in order to support domestic industry, every step we are taking in order to even allow investment to come in, some of which may have to partner domestic industry, is actually aimed in that direction. Similarly, sectors which have taken a hit on account of the global slowdown, we have been systematically addressing each one of those sectors. There is no one single step which will revive all the sectors collectively.
Sir, this is Sharad from The Hindu. So here. Sir, given that you've increased the NPA provisioning limit for the banks, so this year do you expect NPAs to rise significantly?
You see, because of the interest being factored in, unless settlements take place and some acquisitions take place, the interest factor itself may result in some increase.
So hi, I'm Ruchi.
And when a comment was made 3 days ago that NPAs have risen, these are NPAs which are legacy issues. What has increased during this period is essentially not the fact that more monies have been given, the fact that the interest has added on.
So from ET now, this year we've seen that for next year your fiscal roadmap and you are setting a target of 3.2%. In the past, we've seen that rating agencies have not been too kind to any sort of deviation in the fiscal math. What is it that from the government side you will tell the rating agencies now? How
Our
are you
record
dealing-
speaks for itself. You see, you inherited just 2.5 years ago something which was in the range of 4.6%, and from 4.6% to bring it down gradually year after year, stick to the target. And while sticking to the target, I think what's more important, we haven't stuck to the target by just making budgetary cuts, which was done in the past. We've stuck to the target where 2 years in a row, the REs have been higher than the BEs. And yet we've stuck to the target.
सर शिशिर एबीपी न्यूज इधर सर सर जो आपने जो चेक बाउंसिंग के मामले में जिस तरह से कॉन्फिस्केट करने की बात की है, संपत्ति जब्त करने की बात की, उसका किस तरीके से
देखिए,
प्रोसीजर?
दोनों अलग विषय हैं। संपत्ति जब्त करने की जो बात की है कि जो लोग इस देश की आर्थिक व्यवस्था का उपयोग करते हैं, फायदा लेते हैं और फिर इस देश से बाहर भाग जाते हैं, इस देश की अदालतों को, इस देश के कानून को, इस देश के जो जिन लोगों से ऋण लिया है उनको डिफाई करके और फिर कहते हैं कि मैं नहीं आने वाला, तो उनकी इस देश की आर्थिक व्यवस्था से कमाने की जो क्षमता है उसको रोकना एक वो विषय है। जो चेक बाउंसिंग का विषय है वो उससे थोड़ा सा अलग है। चेक बाउंसिंग का विषय ये है कि जब हम कह रहे हैं कि आप बैंकिंग सेक्टर के माध्यम से, डिजिटलाइज इकोनॉमी से आप व्यवहार कीजिए, तो स्वाभाविक है ट्रेडर्स के लिए विशेष रूप से चेक का रोल रहेगा। चेक बाउंसिंग के बाद जो मुकदमा डालने की प्रक्रिया है वो बहुत लंबी है और उसमें समय लगता है, और इसलिए जो व्यक्ति सामान बेचता है और चेक लेकर बैठता है, अदालत में धक्के खाता है, उसको फिर सालों साल लग जाते हैं अपना पैसा वापस वसूल करने से। अब इस व्यवस्था को छोटा कर देना, उस दृष्टि से डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एक्ट का कैसे सुधार हो सकता है, और ताकि ये समय एकदम कंप्रेस हो जाए और उसमें कोई फुल प्रूफ अरेंजमेंट आ जाए कि बाउंसिंग के केस में तुरंत उसको पैसा मिल जाएगा। मैं लाउड थिंकिंग की दृष्टि से कह रहा हूं कि एक सोच है कि जिस आदमी का चेक बाउंस करता है वो मुकदमे को तब डिफेंड कर सकता है पहले अदालत में पैसा जमा कराए। You see, you should again, what I said about fiscal deficit, you should look at our track record. It's true that we are not being able to meet the budgetary target, but in sheer volumes, there is a significant amount that we have done. Now, earlier on, in the whole tenure of the government, you used to have some 25-30,000 crores being disinvested in 5 years. That's the kind of amount we do it each year. This year, for instance, we are optimistic about reaching 45,000 crores. And next year, you must bear in mind that there is a major item which is being listed, not because of the decision today, but because of the decision in the last budget, that is the GIC companies. And under the SEBI guidelines, all of them have to gradually come down to 74% government holding as a condition of listing itself.
So, I am Sanjay Thapaya. I work for Independent Television. So, my question is regarding the political funding. So, it's a very big step. And my question would be, if it's the bonds that you said are anonymous, the bonds will be anonymous. So, then in that case, can they be transferred between parties?
No, you see, therefore,
it has a loophole there.
No, there is no loophole. Once we have said there will be a scheme, we have also said it will be town bound. So the time will be very short. The time will be very short, and the time being very small between the purchase of the bond and the redemption of the bond. So you'll have to, the donor will have to give it to the donee at the earliest. Otherwise the bond can exhaust itself.
Sir, I'm Ashutosh from BTVI. Sir, the finance bill says that there are certain rationalization provisions that have been made to the income declaration scheme, and some consequential amendments will be made to certain sections of the Income Tax Act. Can you take us through what are these rationalization initiatives that the finance bill talk about?
He's saying that to the IDS, is there any rationalization? Where are you reading from?
The explanatory memorandum to the finance bill. No, that we'll have to see specific which section they are referring to. Explanatory
section?
memorandum, it's a backup data, so I think we'll have to see which section you are referring to.
Sir, a question.
No, I understand what he's asking. That provision is with regard to the IDS scheme which we had announced, the first one which we had announced. उसमें ऐसा था कि we had said that we can reopen his assessment for any number of years. Now that was one understanding that we had, Now we are going to restrict the reopening of scrutiny cases instead of 6 years up to 4 years. In search only, if we find that there is a sort of a asset which is available, the record of any asset which is available on his books, which can be verified easily, for example, the bank deposit detail, or the detail of asset purchased by him which is not accounted for, then we can reopen the cases of scrutiny from 6 years to 10 years. So we are increasing 6 years to 10 years only in specific cases where it is a search which is done now, and we have found some kind of a document that he has an asset which is not accounted for, and then only, and that also that asset should be more than 50 lakhs. Then only we will be reopening his accounts up to 10 years instead of 6 years for which the power exists. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sapna here from CNBC TV 18. Apparently, have you mentioned April 1, 2017 as the GST rollout deadline? Because I suppose...
No, we have not said that. The 1st April 2017 reference only comes in familiarizing the states with the kind of changes.
So
the deadline is to be fixed by the GST Council, which has already been announced.
July 1 as of now. And so one very quick follow-up on the disinvestment side, stiff target for FY18, but current year also you're expecting the number to move up to around 45,000 crores from the current 30,000 crores. That means more things on the anvil. In the same ambit, you've also spoken about mergers and acquisition, consolidation in the CPSE space with oil and gas as a major sector. What does the government really have in mind for this? Because, for example...
You speculate on that. It's a very significant paragraph. I'm glad you caught it, but that's for your speculation.
SM आसिफ एडिटर इन दिनों मेरा आपसे सवाल है कि सबका साथ सबका विकास के साथ आपने अल्पसंख्यकों के लिए कितना फंड दिया है जो आप बता रहे थे और उसमें क्या आगे बढ़ाया?
देखिए, एक डिपार्टमेंट के लिए बजट के अंदर मेंशन है, मुझे एग्जैक्ट अमाउंट याद नहीं, लगभग 4,500 करोड़ के करीब है.
Sir, Shubham from Cogensis. So this year, for 16-17, the revised estimate says the fiscal deficit target has been revised to 3.2%. Just want to understand whether in the budget document, under revised estimates for 16-17, it says 3.2%. So I just wanted to understand, is that the number that we have?
The revised estimate this year, the budget estimate this year is 3.5. The revised estimate is also 3.5, and it will be achieved.
Sir, budget at a glance.
Sir, the budget at a glance document mentions 3.2, so I thought I should clarify.
We'll just it could be a typo. We'll check it.
We'll just check it out. We'll check it out.
Oh.
3.5 this year will be maintained. Next year is 3.2.
सर मैं शैलेश हूँ ANI से. सर सबका साथ सबका विकास की बात हो रही थी. इसमें बैंकिंग सेक्टर को और स्टॉक मार्केट को सर उसको बजट में उसका साथ नहीं मिला. सर बैंकिंग सेक्टर में 10,000 करोड़ का रिकैपिटलाइजेशन मनी रखी गई जो पिछले साल से कम कर दी गई है. और दूसरा फ्यूचर ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग में जो है जो STT लगता था उसको 3 गुना बढ़ा दिया गया है.
लास्ट ईयर बढ़ाया
इस बार सर 6,500 पर
STT तो इस बार भी लास्ट ईयर बढ़ा था वो. लास्ट ईयर बढ़ा था, इस बार नहीं बढ़ा. There is no change in STT. और जो बैंकिंग सेक्टर है, जो इंद्रधनुष स्कीम में हमने कहा था 25, 25, 10 और 10, 4 साल में इतना देंगे, वो उसका प्रावधान है। और मैंने ये भी कहा कि अगर अधिक देने की आवश्यकता है तो उसका प्रावधान करेंगे। ये इस वर्ष 25-25 2 साल दिया, इस वर्ष 10 का वर्ष है।
सर आप न्यूज नेशन से एक सवाल है, सर स्मॉल सेविंग स्कीम को बढ़ावा देने के लिए इस बार बजट से कुछ खास दिखा नहीं, क्या स्मॉल सेविंग स्कीम को लेकर?
देखिए स्मॉल सेविंग स्कीम चल रही है, मतलब उसमें कोई बजट में उसमें कोई ऑल्टरेशन, और जो ब्याज आपको स्मॉल सेविंग में मिलता है वो बाजार के ब्याज से ज्यादा मिल रहा है। पूरी दुनिया के लिए और सरकारों के लिए भी ब्याज दर कम हुई है, लेकिन वहां तो ज्यादा मिल रहा है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अनाउंस किया था कि 8% गारंटीड रिटर्न मिलेगा, जिसके लिए वरिष्ठ बीमा योजना LIC की घोषित हो गई है।
Sir, Manoj Kumar from Reuters News Agency. So you will be spending almost 25% of your total budget on debt servicing, around 5.23 lakh crore, which is almost 40,000 crore more as compared to the current financial year. It is also a major concern for the rating agencies. So when, also a legacy issue. So when do you expect that that rating agencies could upgrade India's rating? And when do you expect the economy to again grow above 9% and create 1 crore jobs?
I really can't say what the rating agencies will do. Already the chief economic advisor has spoken at length yesterday. As far as when we speak of very high growth rates, one has to keep in mind also the supporting or the non-supporting nature of the global environment. During the global boom years, 2003 to 2008, a certain level of growth even domestically is possible. When the global slowdown is there, then to maintain 7% plus, 7.5% plus itself is the current challenge.
Sir, good evening. This is Surbhi from the Hindu Business Line. So the economic survey yesterday had mooted a concept of a universal basic income, and the CA had said that there could be a gradual implementation. The budget has been silent on it, sir, but is it an idea which the government would look at?
You see, the economic survey always places some futuristic ideas on the table. Last year, if you recollect, it was subsidies for the rich, and they had tabulated in one of the chapters which set a debate going, which then becomes the direction for the policy in future. This year, the chief economic advisor has mooted the idea of the universal basic income. Strictly for a targeting assistance to the weaker section and to guarantee them a minimum service is an ideal idea. But then within the resource constraint, this is an alternative to the present nature of subsidies, which are significantly untargeted. Center is trying to target them. In the states, they are welfareism is more, and therefore they are quite untargeted. Now, this is an agenda for a future debate, which I think we should keep on the table. Whether this can become an alternative, as the chief economic advisor himself yesterday mentioned, as an alternative, because if you make it in addition, then the question will be, where are the resources?
Clarify that the economic survey said it's an idea worthy of discussion, not necessarily implementation, and already so many questions are being asked on it.
Yeah. Sir, Ujjwal from Newsrise. Sir, last year in the banking sector, you have two major announcements. One is the reducing the stake or government stake in IDBI below 50%, and another one is consolidation among the SBI associate banks. So both things has not happened yet, and my question is, what is the status of IDBI, or government has given up the idea?
You see, as far as both ideas are there, very much on the table. On the SBI merger, we moved substantially ahead, and therefore both ideas are on the table as far as the government is concerned.
Thank you, sir.
3.5.
for 16-17.
This number is wrong in the.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, and all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank